You are a high-achieving professional, executive, maybe you are an entrepreneur, and working long hours. Sacrificing your time with your family is very familiar to you. You are a doer who is overcommitted to everyone else but yourself. Achieving goal after goal is what you do, and it got you pretty far. On the surface, looks like your life is amazing, but recently you question where all this is taking you. Achieving goals doesn't bring you the level of happiness and joy that you would like. Struggle, overworking, burnout, anxiety, stress is a familiar part of your life. You would like to do less better, doing what you love, and have that free time without feeling guilty that you can spend with your family. If that sounds like you, then keep listening. Welcome to my podcast, You Can Be Unstoppable. My name is Ewelina Szczeblewska, and this is episode number 27. So you have this amazing job that you think you love, but recently you question why all your sacrifices don't yield the results that you are after. You are a busy professional who struggles with anxiety, stress, or burnout, but perhaps you don't even want to admit to yourself that this is the case, that you need help. After all, you are an amazing kick-ass person who achieved so much. You have been so self-reliant for so long. You achieved so much. You can handle a bit of stress. But can you? How is all this sacrifice leading to you not actually paying any attention to your self-care? When was the last time you took time off to relax, to have a massage, to have a girl night out, whatever that is for you? When was the last time you properly switched off from work? You are taking care of everyone else around you but your needs. You are overdoing, overanalyzing, overthinking, overworking, overcommitting to other people but yourself. Ask yourself, how is this serving you? How is your family dynamic? Is all this overworking and overdoing affecting your family life and your work life and all other relationships? You see, all these behaviors that we get into is driven by the subconscious mind. It's like the operating system of a computer. Imagine not updating your computer for years and years, but demanding a top performance. Imagine not dealing with any viruses in your computer, but demanding a top performance. It's a hard ask if you ask me, but this is exactly how we live our lives. When we come into this world, we come sort of like a blank canvas. And over the years, observing our parents and friends, by what we are taught in school and what we watch on TV, but how our parents treat us and how they show their love towards us, all this leads to us creating a blueprint of the world, of ourselves. We're creating this autopilot in our mind that will drive all our decisions for years to come. We learn who we are, what is expected of us, we pick beliefs, habits, and patterns. In other words, we are being indoctrinated by the environment that we surround ourselves in, by the environment that we grew up in. And the problem with all this is also that we don't really have a logical mind developed till about 7 or 8 years old. This is the time when the logic starts to develop. So everything that happened to us up to this point, we analyzed only with our emotions. So to give you an example, imagine that as a little child you misspelled a word in front of the class and everyone was laughing at you. This experience was really embarrassing for you. You took it very personally and emotionally, that whole experience. And your mind was, okay, I got you. No one will ever laugh at you ever again. I will give you a belief that it is not safe to speak in public in front of everyone else at meetings and similar situations. So now your career is going really well. You in your 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever your age is, but you can't get that next level promotion because you literally get a panic attack or something else happens. Maybe you get a flu or a headache. Something happens that stops you pretty much every time when you need to speak at management meetings or similar events. You see, your subconscious mind will do everything to stop you because it said it will make sure that no one will ever laugh at you. And although that belief was very helpful to you when you were a little child, it's not very helpful now when you are grown up and you try to create an amazing career. That belief becomes a limiting belief because it limits you. And because our subconscious beliefs are different to what we want consciously, the mind will stop us because the subconscious mind is more powerful and much faster in the way it processes information than the conscious mind. You may think that this makes no sense whatsoever. You know that you really want to speak up. You have been working really hard on your speech, on your presentation style. But you see, in a battle between logic and emotion, so you logically know that you want to achieve and do X, Y, and Z, emotions will always win. When your emotions are triggered, when you need to speak up, it's like being transported back to that classroom when everyone laughed at you. And you may not necessarily make that connection. You don't necessarily need to really realize where that emotion, that feeling is coming from because it's buried deep in your subconscious mind. Because all this is stored in your subconscious mind as a default settings that will trigger you every time you are faced with similar emotions or situations or people that trigger you. In order to change this, we need to access the subconscious mind, find the root cause for the limiting belief and change it. We need to upgrade the subconscious mind with the beliefs, habits, and patterns that serve us now. The beliefs and patterns that we created at such early age are hardly helpful to us when they limit our ability to create careers or lives that we really want. Surely they were helpful when we were little, but not now. And not all beliefs are limited. We only focus on the ones that actually limit us in some way. That was only one example, but hypnosis works really well for imposter syndrome, fears, anxiety, stress, emotional pains, physical pains, you name it. It's an amazing tool because we bypass the logical mind, the prefrontal cortex that usually gets in a way when we want to change. They will come up with a very long list of excuses why it's not a good idea to exercise, to show up, to introduce a change, to get up and be productive, to go and do something that you want. And every time we give in, we cement that belief deeper into us, and then it's harder to change. Problem is also with the fact that everything that we do now is a habit. It's a familiar way of being to us. And when we struggle to be organized or productive or whatever else that you want, it's an unfamiliar way of being, and the mind doesn't like this. So we need to make what's unfamiliar familiar to their mind, and this is why the change is so hard, and there's so many aspects to this, so many rules of the mind that we need to understand in order so we can make the mind work for us and not against us. So I highly suggest that you explore meditation and mindfulness because they will really help you to become super aware of who you really are. Because we live from the inside out, we make decisions, everything is an inside out. We need to make sure that inside, the subconscious mind is on point, is exactly what we want to be in terms of beliefs, habits, patterns, because most of our lives we operate from the subconscious mind. So we need to make sure that whatever is happening there, it's exactly how we want it to be. And that's where the subconscious reprogramming hypnosis comes in. It's such a powerful tool. I cannot stress strongly enough how powerful and amazing that tool is in the way we can improve our lives. I hope that this episode helped you to understand that no matter where you are, you can turn your life around. Once you get very clear about your goals are, what lights your fire, you will be able to create your new identity on a subconscious level. Thank you very much for listening, and if you think that this podcast is of value, then please share it with friends and family. If you are tired and frustrated, feeling like you should have this all figured out by now, and you absolutely can't deal with your life or career as it is now, you are ready to do less better. You are ready to change your stories, to love yourself and accept yourself as you are in order to create this amazing life and career that you really want. Book a consultation with me by emailing evelina@bravingthebeing.com or by following the link in the description of this podcast.